Hey everybody, it's the Great Escape here, and it has been a crazy week with getting ready for the school year to start and then a hurricane hitting the area. But we are back in our world, and we're in the Nether because I've been doing some exploring and I found a place here for a potential gold farm, and I've also found a mesa biome and some other places. And so I'm just gathering up some terracotta here from this massive mesa biome that I found. Then we're going to pop over here into the Nether and head off to a vast desert that I've found to get some sand. We're gathering a lot of things and building up some farms today so that we can build up some more of our base area. Eventually we're going to do some designing there. I'm still kind of working out some kinks. So let me head over off to the desert biome. All right, here we go, gathering up all of the sand that we're going to need. I guess I think the my towers or buildings in the base area are going to be made out of concrete. I'm also thinking of maybe using some of the cool like warped stems or crimson stems because they have kind of almost like a techno wizard look, which maybe is kind of what I'm going for. I'm not really sure. I don't want to necessarily go like futuristic like last season, so I'm really thinking like what does like magic futurism look like, and so I'm playing around with those ideas, and it's a little bit more complicated than originally planned. So I'm doing some farming today as I continue to work on design elements, but we're gathering up some materials so we can get started. Alright, so the first thing I did is I was going to need a lot of cyan, so I went ahead and popped in a cactus farm up here above our bamboo and sugarcane farm. So those will break off and they'll fall down, and we'll be able to get cactus from this, which I can then use to get green dye, which then I can use to get cyan dye. So we're just building farms that are going to make it easier for us to continue to build up and correct things. And my other farm today is going to be more useful. Alright, up next we're just popping in the fence posts here so that when the cactus grows it automatically breaks off and then falls down into the water below and gets put into the system. And this is a finicky thing to do as always, but it is necessary and it will produce pretty quickly. Like, I'm not making a massive farm. I guess I could stack this multiple times and make it super tall, but I don't really need a ton of cactus. I just need enough to get some and so as I'm building over here, this will constantly be producing the cactus parts so I need for the dye, and then we'll be able to go. And I'm just right now just checking to make sure that every cactus has one fence post adjacent to it, and it looks like they do. So the farm is actually ready to go and done. I'm going to need to put some glass up around it so that cactus doesn't fall over onto the side of the observers. But other than that, this is finished, and our first kind of major farm is complete. Now, I may at some point come in here and increase its height and get some more sugarcane and bamboo, but it is producing pretty a lot. So I'm going to be using this bamboo for fuel and the sugarcane for rockets for the most part. So this is a pretty good system. So I just need now to see if we're going to get some cactus coming in here. And so it's just kind of a waiting game to see when the cactus will break off and pop in here. But I do need to put glass on because it will definitely fall on those observers. So let me go ahead and grab some glass and fly up here and do that, and then we'll finish up this farm. Alright, glass is in place. I'm just putting up some lights on it now. I don't really need the lights, but I just like it being lit up. I don't know why. Yeah, things can't spawn on cactus because that would be stupid. But this is done, and while I was building that, it did. Oh gosh, how did I fell through, how did I fall through the slabs? And of course, there's like 2 creepers down here, 6 creepers, 8 creepers. Why did I just fall through the slabs? That was weird. Okay, well, let's check the chest. All right, 19 cactuses just while I was building up those the glass walls. That's awesome. So it's producing, it's getting what we need. So I'm going to AFK here for a little bit and get some cactus, and then use the smelter. And that'll get us some dye so that we can, complete everything and finish gathering all the materials that we're going to need for this. So I'm going to go ahead and pop our cactus up here and let it kind of filter into the system for a moment, and then I'll turn the smelter on. And yeah, that thing over there, that stone farm needs to be moved because it's currently jutting out. But I think I'm going to build another food farm anyway, so that one's probably not permanent, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so the cactus is now pouring into the furnaces, and let's see how fast we're getting it out of here. Up, there it comes. Man, I love super smelters. That is so awesome. I'm very happy that we finally built one of those last episode, and that we've got this now. I'm not even so concerned this season with the lack of a storage system. Maybe I'll get a storage system eventually over here, but right now I'm just really focusing on farms. So let me go ahead and wrap up a few things, and then we'll get started on our next project. Alright, so that first round of dye with our terracotta got us almost a full row of cyan terracotta, which is pretty good. But I'm just going to AFK over there a little bit more and get some more cactus and get the shulker box filled with terracotta, so that'll be awesome. Alright, next is this platform, which will be the new farm that we're going to be building, and it's actually, I'm building it kind of close to the super smelter because I think when I build the buildings that will go over these two farms, they'll actually will be connected and look like they belong to one another, so that's why they're kind of close together. And then the other one is a little bit further off, and it's going to be kind of its own separate thing, although I think all of the buildings here are going to be connected by like breezeways and things like that, so they're all going to be loosely connected. And I'm realizing now that what I really need is prismarine and sea lanterns, so I'm gonna have to find I don't know, I'm gonna have to find an ocean monument and I guess build an ocean monument farm. But this is our platform, and I've got some hoppers over here, and now I need to put down some rails because I'm going to have a hopper minecart running under this. I'm not telling you what I'm building yet, and so hopefully you can guess as we're going what this will eventually be, but the hopper rails are going to run, let's see, probably this way. Rails are always so finicky. Yeah, I think this line right here can be powered, so I'm going to go ahead and pop in some redstone, or blocks of redstone here, and this will be where our powered rails go, and then I'll probably have another line of powered rails further back, but let me go ahead and put in all of these rails and try to mess with them so that they don't curve over each other, and let's see what we get. Alright, now we've got all the rails down, and next I just need to put some dirt on top of these rails, and that will be the base level of our farm. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. And then we've got a piston here with a slab underneath it, and then and that's going over all of our dirt. And this is actually going to be in a checkerboard pattern, but the easiest way to do this is to actually build the whole set of slabs and then go in and take out the checkerboards. It maybe doesn't sound like it's the easiest way to do it, but it definitely is. And by now you probably see that what I'm building is a pumpkin and melon farm. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting in these slabs and busting out our checkerboards. Alright, so our checkerboard is now in place, and the next step is to, over each one of those slabs, put a sticky piston. And so this will involve a lot of placing of dirt and then putting sticky pistons down and then breaking the dirt, and something totally not exciting to watch being done on a video. So we're definitely going to do this in a kind of a time lapse. But I'm going to go ahead and pop our pistons in, and then we'll finish up this part of the farm. Alright, so now all of our pistons are in place, and it is, oh, I completely missed that. It is, what am I landed on a lantern, that's nice. But it's looking pretty nice, and it is kind of ready for me to go ahead and hoe it and plant our pumpkin and melon seeds. I think I'm going to put water on either end, and just have two water sources. I was going to put them on the sides, but that's a little close to the furnace, but again, they're connected, so I don't really know if it matters, but those are going to go there. And right now, oh, that's, I just slammed into the wall. I'm going to pop over here and grab up some tools after I pop to sleep. Alright, so we're heading back over to the farm area, and I do need a light source in here. I think I'm probably going to use shroom lights, so that the plants are lit up and they will grow more quickly. So that'll be good. But yeah, I think that the water source is going to have to go on the other side. So let me go ahead and put that in place, and then yeah, this isn't going to work right here. So let me go ahead and put that in place, and I'll be right back. Alright, so water here in place. I've got one, oops, I've got one here and one on the other side, so it will all be hydrated. And so my next step is to hoe the land and plant the seeds. So let me pop over here and get up on top. Yeah, so I guess the easiest way is just going to be to hoe down through where they're not. And then that looks weird. There we go. Where they're not, and then I'm going to plant my melons and pumpkins in alternating patterns, like a checkerboard pattern for the melon and pumpkins. And so I think that increases their growth rate. I'm not sure. I hear things sometimes, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that, and then I just keep doing it. Whether it's the best or not, I don't know. But I have heard that alternating their plant growth does increase their growth speed, so we'll see. But let me go ahead and finish hoeing out all of these areas, and then we'll plant in our seeds. And the last thing we got to do is some of the redstone on top, which is going to be relatively easy because we're going to use detector rails and a minecart. Alright, but first I need some more shrooms. The shroom lights, I realized I only had 8. So I'm heading over here to a crimson area, crimson forest. That was a weird glitch, but at least I didn't hit the pigment. But there is a crimson forest over here, and I'm going to harvest up some of these shrooms. I'm also going to grab some nelium and some of the small mushrooms, because then I can just kind of farm them back over by my base if I need more. So I'm going to pop up 8 or so of these, and then grab some of the red nelium, and then I can do that. I realized after I ran like 1,000 blocks away from my portal that there is a warped biome right next to my main portal, and they also have shroom lights, but for some reason I ran all the way over here to the crimson biome. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and gather up these shroom lights and then head back to the base and put them into the farm, and hopefully nothing kills me while I'm out here. So alright, so I've got some of the shrooms in. These were all the ones that I harvested out in the area, and then I created a little farm over there. You can see it off in the corner, and bone mealed up some more shroom lights. Having a renewable source of light like this is just pretty awesome. But we're ready to go and put our rails up on the top, and then I think I cut off the last thing on accident, but we're putting in the rails, and what I need is a detector rail every kind of 4 pistons, because that one detector will activate all 4 pistons, and I don't want the pistons firing too often because it will reduce the ability for the plants to grow. So I don't need, a detector rail every time, but like those 4 are now activated. And then I can probably do, I guess I could do one right here. That's fine, even though that one will be double activated, but that's not the end of the world. And then here and here, and now all 3 rows there of pistons will be activated as the cart comes through. And I guess the easiest thing I could do it this way, because then they're activated, and then they're activated, and then all I would need is on this row here, yeah. Although having them on the edge might present a problem. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and wire this up and see how it looks, and then if it requires something, I might rewire it and just add like an extra row of dirt or something, because I'm playing around with detector rails and powered rails, and it's always a mess, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I've got them in place, and if I start our little cart here, it's gonna take off, and it stopped. There's a powered rail there that didn't get powered, so it stopped the cart. Is that what's happening there? Yes, so this just needs to be a regular rail, and then pop this back on and test it again. Okay, my concern is that it might run out of juice. But no, it is carrying through. My only issue is that I know that each row is now being double fired a couple times, and so I'm definitely probably going to redo the path of the cart at some point, but I'm just kind of testing it right now to make sure that this system works. And maybe go ahead and put in our hopper minecart down here so it's just ready to go once I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Once everything starts growing up, so the hopper minecart's going to race around that way and pick up all of the drops. And the system is technically finished, so it's just a matter now of testing it to make sure that it picks up everything that it needs to. And it's going to take a while to kind of AFK here and wait for all of these to grow, so I might run over and grab some bone meal and at least bone meal a few of them up to get it started. But I'm going to fly back over and go to sleep and then come back over here in AFK and see what we can get out of this farm. We've accomplished a lot today apparently already, so let's do this. Alright, so there we go. That's, I think, our first pumpkin. So I flew back over here and one finally grew up after I bone milled some things. So the system is working. It did break the pumpkin and then the pumpkin got picked up. So now it's just a matter of kind of waiting to see once they all grow how efficient this is, and we'll go. So let me go ahead and sit here in AFK and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I did rewire up at the top because I noticed it was some of the pistons were active for too long, and so this kind of slowed that down a little bit. But after, I don't know how long I've been AFKing here, but we got over a half a stack of pumpkins and several stack of melons, which they will have to turn into melon blocks, so that's not quite, that might be half a stack of melon blocks as well, but that's pretty good so far. So I've got some things here, and this is for trading with villagers for the most part, but that is looking pretty good. So our industrial zone of our base is coming together. I figure about, most of this outer ring is going to be industrial. There's going to be a storage system and things like that over here too, but these are all going to be farms and industrial areas, so I can just stand in the middle and AFK and all of them will be active, which will be very, very nice. I realize now that I built my mob farm very far away, and I probably could have just built that over here. Maybe I'll move it at some point. But if you've enjoyed this little short video getting back into things after the hurricane and everything, then drop a like down at the bottom. It definitely helps, and if you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe. But this has been The Great Escape, and I'll see you all next time, and tuning in for more of Into the Nether.